Now we're adding the colors. This actually is probably easier than the previous video, but I think it's easier to start with lines as far as conceptually, even if the coding is a little bit harder. So now for colors, there's not really a way to color this in as far as like thinking like I want to color it. Instead, what we need to do is we need to put a square, a rectangle, just like we did the background, of color there. So we're not coloring this in, we're putting a square here. So this one was going to be red, right? I've got my rectangle here, and I want it to be red. So I could go down here and put it after all the lines, but I'm actually going to put it before the lines, and I'll show you why. If I put a rectangle here and I run it, everything got deleted, right? No, everything did not get deleted. What happened was I covered everything with a big giant rectangle, so you can't see anything, right? So it's easier to make this look right if I put the rectangles behind it. So if I tell this to be red and run it, now I've got this weird line thing going on because it is 100 by 100, but it's eating into that stroke of the line, right? So that's something to be aware of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my first rectangle above all of my lines. So open an angle bracket, and I just made the rectangle, but I'm just going to show it to you, like actually doing it. I'm going to talk you through it. Okay, so rectangle. I need a starting point, just like we did the background, both y and x, right? And then I need a height, and I need a width, and I need a fill. And then close that rectangle element. So I want it to start in the top left. That's 0, 0. We know that, right? Where does it end? It ends right here. We know this is 100 away. We know this is 100 down from the top, right? So we know that we want this to be 100 by 100. For fill, I could use colors like I did over here, but I can also just use named colors. I don't have as many options with named colors, but I have enough options for now. We'll play more with understanding color codes later. So I'm just going to call this red. And let's see if I did it. Cool. I am happy with that. Now I want this one to be yellow. I know the starting point is 100, 100 because that was the ending point of this one, right? So I'm going to copy this. Command C, Control C, whatever, right? And then Command V, Control V, whatever. Starting point will be 100, 100. The height and the width, that's a little bit trickier, right? So the width isn't too bad. It's whatever the width of this whole canvas is minus 100. So the width of the whole canvas is 300. So the width of this is going to be 200. The height is a little bit trickier. It's whatever the distance is between this line and this line is. So this is 100. What is that one? This is my second horizontal line. So going down to my second horizontal line, that's here. That is at 285, right? 285, 285. So 285 minus 100 should be 185. So we have almost a square here. And this color I want to be yellow. Now run it. Looks good. Down here I want blue. So I'm actually going to copy this one because the X is already correct. Yep. And then I just need to fix the Y. Both X's are correct. The width is actually correct too, so I just need to figure out the Y. So this is my last horizontal line, right? So that was starting at 315. Okay. So it starts at 315 on the Y. And the height, I could actually put whatever for the height because it's just going to go off the canvas and nobody's going to see it. So that's fine. Alright, and then I just need this last one. That last one being red. So I know a few things. I know the height is going to be where this one ended, right? That was that 285, whatever it was, right? So we know this is 100. We see the height for that yellow one here being 185, so that is 285. So we can say 285 for this. The height actually needs to be a little bit more than 100, right? Because the height is 400. This actually won't go quite to the bottom. So this is like, I don't know, 120, 115, something like that. And then the width. This last vertical line, that's where it starts. So here we have my vertical line. The X value is 270, so it should start at 270. And the width doesn't matter, it'll just go off the page. Alright, there we go. The colors are a little intense. I'd like to modify a few things. I'd like maybe some of these to have varying shades of gray, so I could add in some more rectangles with some slightly different color codes. But hopefully you get the idea, and from there you can play with it more and figure it out more. You're gonna have some trouble with it. It's okay, right? You're just starting to play with these things, understand them. It's okay if it's a little bit of a mess. Just give it a try. Don't give up. Look for errors, right? If something doesn't load, right, figure out where it stopped loading and look for maybe you left off a quote or a slash or something like that, right? Because that can happen.